What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the No Starving Artist podcast. Very, very excited to get into today's episode. We've got some really, really great episodes that are coming out, so hopefully you're tuning in and enjoying them. But today we have a group. This is the first group on the podcast, so I'm very, very excited to bring them out. We've got the Full Circle Boys in the house. The crowd goes wild.
Dancer.
Yeah, buddy.
Dancer.
Give us a little intro. Who are you, and what are you guys up to?
Hey, I'm James. I'm 20 years old, and I grew up in Marietta, California, and I started dancing at the age of 8.
When'd you start singing?
At the age of this question is a bit hard because I grew up like singing around the house and whatnot, but I didn't really start getting into it until I was about 17-ish. Yeah.
What's up? I'm Ollie. I'm 17. I grew up in Ogden Valley, Utah. I started dancing when I was like 9-ish, 10, and then I started singing around 15 to 16.
Let's go.
How's it going? My name is Dawson. I'm also from Ogden, Utah. Grew up dancing since 4th grade and started singing the last couple of years. So let's go.
What's up? I'm Jagger Moon. I am 22 years old. I started dancing when I was about 7. I'm from Ogden, Utah. I had the pleasure of getting to grow up and watch Mr. Jason Pickett here as well, kind of grow up and become the choreographer he is. So it's a pleasure to be on. And I started singing when I was about, I felt like James, I've been singing my whole life, but I didn't start, I did theater in high school, but I didn't start taking it seriously until I was 18.
Hey, I'm Sean. I'm 19. I'm from Marietta, California. I started dancing when I was 6 or 7. Let's just say 7.
Let's go.
And I started singing mediocrely at 8.
Nice.
Love it. So shout out Utah.
Shout out Utah.
And Marietta. Okay, wait. So running back, so all dancers, right?
Yes.
All dancers.
Okay, and everybody like competition dancers. What's the rundown there? Yes, competition dancers. Okay.
Yeah,
Convention.
these 3 grew up at the same studio together.
Okay.
Yep.
I knew that. And then were you guys at the same studio or no?
Yes, James and I were at the same studio when we were from like 9 to 13. And then
Okay.
we lived close to LA, so we used to go to auditions together and whatnot. So we've kept in contact and all that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love that. So you guys are a group, right?
Yes,
you guys make music.
Yep.
What was it like coming together? So 3 of you know each other from one place, 2 of you know each other from another place. How was it coming together? Was it like instantly, all right, cool, we're clicking, or were the vibes off initially?
Well, yeah, I think it's like kind of a long, convoluted story. I mean, me and Sean knew each other kind of. We did
Okay.
through dance. We a choreographer who used to come to Infinity also taught where Sean grew up, and so he would bring me out every once in a while to do some stuff out at the studio out here in Marietta. And so I met Sean. That's how I knew Sean, and we weren't like besties by any means, but we were acquaintances.
Okay. Okay.
We kept Sean and I followed each other on Instagram, and he hit me up one day being like, "You want to join a boy band?" And then I was like,
Yeah, everybody gets those, right?
"Yeah, exactly." I was like, "Sure, I guess." And then me, Sean, and James were in a group. It was still Full Circle, but it wasn't this 5.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
in 2021, me, Sean, and James moved to Florida together with 2 other boys, and we were trying it out for a little bit out there. We were ripping and running for a while, and it didn't click right away. And like the other boys wanted to move on and go their own ways, which we respected. We didn't want to keep them around, and then there was a lot of not issues, but just like things we didn't all agree on.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, like just with any creative process, you don't always agree with each other. And so we all went our separate ways. And then at the top of the year, we invited Dawson and Ollie to join the group. And that one, it just felt right. That was an instant click.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
because I'd spent Kem was Kevin. It was crazy. Because I had been with James and Sean for about 2 years at that point.
Yeah.
I'd known them for a while. Sean and James had known of Dawson and Ollie because I was always talking about them. So it just like it felt like we all knew each other, and it was perfect.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And was this the plan for everybody? Was everybody like, I'm going to be in a boy band one day, or what was like? Were you guys more like, who was focused on dance versus singing, or were you all kind of focused more so on dance?
I took a few dance classes at NRG.
Okay.
And there was this class where you have to sing while you dance.
Okay.
I remember specifically not singing because I was like, I'm never going to sing in my lifetime for my kids. I was like, I'm never going to do that. And I remember at the same time, I was like making fun of Jagger for being in a boy band. Like I was teasing him, not really making fun of him, but I was teasing him. Like, oh, you're a boy band? That's so
now
funny.
look at you.
I know.
Now look at you.
Karma.
Yeah, I think
You're here.
I don't know about the other boys, but I had turned it down a couple of times. Like I didn't think I was gonna do it until we moved out to Florida, and and it's so weird because I didn't want to be a dancer either. I wanted to be an actor. That was the plan. Like after competition dance, I was gonna try and like either go to Broadway or start out here in LA and try and be an actor. But I've always loved singing, and I think my heart, and it's great that we get to dance and sing too, because dancing is like, I put everything in my life like relates back to dance. So I think, it wasn't the plan, but it worked out perfectly. And I know Dawson wasn't planning on being in a boy band.
This was not the plan. I was actually getting ready to serve an LDS mission.
Okay.
And I was ready to go, and then I got my last medical checkup. I was born with heart issues, but they hit me with my doctor said, you need to get surgery right now. And within 2 weeks, I got surgery. And then it was like,
oh, wow.
Serve this mission because I have to heal, 6-month recovery. But the week before I got that surgery, Jagger hit me on Snapchat, and he's like, you want to be in a boy band? And I was like, oh, shoot. I don't know about that. But, it felt right. And now look where we are now, and it's great. So everything happens for a reason, that's for sure.
James wanted to be a dentist.
Yeah, I feel like especially growing up as dancers, I feel like you're kind of taught like the end goal is to become like a backup dancer.
Right.
And in that, like I wasn't very too fond of because I don't know, I just didn't think that was really for me. I wanted to go to college and like, because that's like what my parents kind of taught and raised me what to do. But yeah, and then Sean brought this opportunity to me, and I was like, I can't like not do this,
Yeah.
Like this is a once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime.
And for me, kind of during 2020, I was kind of going through a crossroads in the dance industry, and I'd been in school choir, and I'd been in some vocal lessons and whatnot. So I kind of thought that I wanted to try something in the music industry. And through the dance world, I met our managers, John Lucero and Stacy Pyle, at the end of 2020, and they and I shared the idea of a pop group that had a dance background, and that's kind of kicked off this journey. And this group has really like reinvented my love for dance because I was definitely going through it, and now I'm excited to say like I'm proud to be part of the dance world, and I'm proud of my background. So it's awesome.
Amen.
I love it.
Amen, brother.
That's amazing. So, I mean, the burning question is how hard is it to sing and dance at the same time?
It's very
It's really
so
hard.
Very
like, so what was everybody's experience with that coming into this? Like, was it always one or the other, or were some of you more used to like dancing and singing?
It was always like, like I said, I did theater in high school, and I went to a really small high school, and not a lot of kids dance at high school. So when we did musical theater, it was like we would sing, and then we'd maybe do like a box step.
Okay,
And,
yeah.
So I was like, when we started the band, I was like, oh, this will be easy. Like, oh, confetti. fireworks.
It does random stuff like this, and I don't know.
But, I was like, this is gonna be easy, and then it wasn't easy, and so yeah, it was just a really shocking moment because I was like, I can sing really good not dancing. I dance really good not singing. How hard can it be?
Yeah.
And for me, it's gonna work out. So I like jump rope and sing every day to like keep up that stamina to be able to sing while dancing. But
Yeah.
I don't know if it was hard for the other fellas.
Oh, it was so easy, guy.
I would say for dancers, the closest thing to singing and dancing at the same time that feels natural is probably having to take counts and do the dance at the same time because we all grew up as assistants. So we had that, and that's the closest feeling that I would say.
Yeah.
But it was very different from anything that I had experienced because of the level of dancing that we are doing.
Yeah, you guys be dancing.
Yeah. I grew up in musical theater like Jagger at school and in choir. So we did the step touches and whatnot, but that is nothing compared to what we're doing now.
No.
So it's something.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's
Who
so-
messes up the most in rehearsal?
Ooh, who messes up the most in rehearsrsal? It changes.
It could be any of us,
It's Dawson.
honestly.
For TikTok,
It's Dawson.
for TikToks, it's me. But
I love it.
Sugarcoat it.
No, this is a great segue though. So you guys put out a lot of content.
Yeah.
I see you guys' videos all the time. Great videos. Y'all like they're funny. Like y'all be really going off in them as well.
Yes.
What like are you guys just doing that all day long? Like how do you just kind of are you like logging what is trending and what's going on and then you're like, oh, we should do this? Or like is there one of you that's always coming up with the ideas?
We all collectively kind of come up with the ideas. Like if I see like a sound that's trending, I'll be like, let's make a dance to this.
Yeah.
Or if I just see like a trending kind of like a trend, I don't even know, like a dance trend or something, I'll be like, let's do this.
Yeah.
All of us do it.
It's really changed because there was a period there for a little bit where we would find like 5 TikToks, like dancing TikToks, film them all in the same day, and then that would be it for.
Okay, I bet.
We wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But as of late, it's been every day. Like yesterday, I choreographed the TikTok that went out. Like we've been just switching off every day now. We're like, we're kind of sick of like looking for the trends. Like let's just dance. Let's just make the trends and dance. So like
yeah. Well, you guys have the platform now too.
Yeah, exactly. So we're like, we think we've reached a point where we can. That sounds so cocky, but like we've reached a point where we don't need to be doing other people's choreo. Their choreo is great. I love all the TikTok dances that I see. It's just like we have that background of where we can choreograph it ourselves. So I think that's been kind of our plan lately. So we've really only been filming 1 a day, whereas we used to film 10 a day sometimes.
Yeah.
For a while.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm curious what this grind is like for you guys, individually and as a group, because I know like I'm not nearly involved in like the music industry as you guys are, but I have a lot of friends that have done it and are doing it, and so I know that it can be a grind to kind of get things going and get to what you guys want to do. So what has that been like? Was it what you guys expected, or was it more? Less? What is that? Give me a little bit of an idea on that.
It's definitely a grind, that's for sure. It's a waiting game. It's a game of patience and resilience. And there's some days when we're like a little annoyed with each other, but that's just like normal. It's like
yeah.
But we just try to always keep that mental mindset that it's like, where are we going? What are we trying to accomplish? We see that bigger picture. So the days when we're sitting around, it's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
It easier.
It's a bit like, to piggyback off of that, it's a grind physically and like all that stuff, but it's also a mental grind.
Yeah.
Like it's very hard. Like there are, like Dawson said, there are days where like we'll be so busy 1 week and then the next 2 weeks we won't have anything. And it's like really like you had that high of that really busy week. You're like, I'm working hard and all that stuff. And then we're in this house for 2 weeks filming TikToks, working on harmonies, which is also pushing us towards our goal, but it's not the same feeling as
Yeah.
going to the studio and then the next day performing at a high school. It's just it's a mentally challenging game, but I think we've all found our own ways to handle it. And then, I think, it's also easier when you have 4 other boys to talk to about it.
Yeah, and are going through the same experience.
Yeah.
And we all live together, so there's not really like, it's hard to notice improvement when you're doing it every day.
Yeah.
All the time. So you don't really feel like the ball is moving forward, but every once in a while we feel it. We're like, okay, the numbers have gotten better. We've gotten better at the harmonies. Okay.
Like an old video will resurface and we're like, oh shoot, that was terrible.
It is
Hey, we're getting a little better at this.
Yeah, it's interesting to look at because we thought we were like the grind. Not that the grind's not hard right now, but when we first started this 5, like the grind was really like crazy for like the first 4 months together, and it was just. And we look back at like we thought we were killing it back then, and we look back at old like videos of us singing together, like trying harmonies, and we're like, what were we doing? What was that? But so the grind is paying off because we've gotten a lot better. We're not where we want to be, but we've gotten a lot better at it.
That's fair. I love that. I love that. What are some things that you guys you didn't maybe know about this industry that were like new to you that were kind of like, oh, that's weird?
You got it.
Anything
Anything you want to say?
I wouldn't say, okay, this isn't like an industry thing, but I did not know what a freaking harmony was before I joined this group.
I love this.
I did not know what that was because I remember we were trying to do harmonies when we first it was like this 5, and oh my gosh, it was just my brain was everywhere. Like I didn't.
Wait, so how long did you pretend like you knew before you just said you don't know, or were you just right away like I don't know?
No, I right away I was like I don't know.
Okay.
It's been a struggle, but hey, we've all gotten a lot better at harmony, so
I love it.
all that matters.
I think for me, what I've learned from this industry, and Dawson kind of talked about it in the last thing we were talking about, it really is a hurry up and wait game. Like your patience, you have to have the patience and the will to keep going because you see these stars come out and you think they're just overnight sensations, but they're not. If you look at their background, they're not overnight sensations. They have been working really, really hard for a lot of years. So for me, when we released our first single back in 2022, I thought it was going to be an instant hit. I thought we were going to be the biggest thing in the world, and we weren't. And that was hard. At the time, I had an ego through the roof, and that was a hard pill to swallow. I was like, what am I doing? But you just got to remember what your goal and your dream is and keep pushing at it because it's not everyone that is an overnight sensation isn't an overnight sensation. They just got really lucky one night.
I think something that I'm trying to work on right now that I'm not very good at is building connections and building relationships because this is such an insider's game. All facets of the entertainment world. I mean, dance, if you want a big gig, most of it's an inside job. You got to know the choreographer. You got to have that connection.
You need to know their assistant.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
They hire their friends. They hire who they know. And it's very similar in the music industry, especially if you don't know that person and you don't know how to get somewhere. You just got to make some friends, and you got to be more friendly and be a good, genuine person. And I think you can definitely move the needle in the right direction.
Dawson's really good at that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shout out, Dawson. That's amazing. That's amazing. I love that. Before I ask this next question, I should have said this at the beginning, but in the case that you can no longer hear me, I'll kick you out and then just rejoin.
Okay.
It doesn't happen all the time, but every once in a while it happens, and it's annoying. But anyways, no, that's great. And I think that there, in a lot of ways, maybe you guys can speak on this too, because you guys have actually experienced it more than me just observing it. But I feel like there's a connection between the dance industry and the music industry. Like that's very obvious. but they're very similar in a lot of ways.
Yes.
In terms of like that networking aspect and that like just kind of like there's certain elements that are very, very similar in terms of like the crossover between the two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think. James, do you have anything to say on this one? No. No. Okay.
He's like, no.
He's like, nah, dude. I think it is very similar, and Sean touched on it. It's really who you know. You have to make relationships. It's all about friends. When I was on Velocity's company, we did a lot of network training where we would have to like they would bring in the pro assistants that were on the company or that were working at Velocity, and they'd have them act like different people and different execs, or they were somebody's assistant, and we had to figure out a way to talk to them and figure out how to get to be in the show or whatever. So like you would have to get close with the assistant of the choreographer of the thing, so they would have to talk to the choreographer to get you in the show, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So that they're training us for that if we wanted to get a dance job, because it's not all about auditions anymore. Auditions is like kind of dated. There still are auditions, but people are mostly just going to who they know, or like let's say I asked Dawson, I'm like, hey, do you know anybody that I could cast in this? And Dawson would be like, oh yeah, I have this guy Oliver, and then I would cast Oliver based off of my friend Dawson's word.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is how the music industry is now too. We earlier this summer, we flew to Atlanta, Georgia to record with this amazing producer, Tricky Stewart, who has worked with Rihanna, Justin Bieber, all those people. And we wouldn't have gotten in there if it wasn't for our relationship with Jason Joshua, who did the mixing on Call My Name. And so it was just like, yeah, it's just all about who you know. And same with dance and in this music industry.
Yeah. What is what's the process like for walk me through like inception of a song to when we get to hear it on streaming platforms? What is that process like for you guys? How much time are you in the studio? How much involvement do you guys have with like certain aspects of the music at this point? And do you guys have plans of like changing that up ever in the future?
Ooh, that's a good question.
We have lots of involvement when it comes to how our music sounds and what we want it to sound like. Like when we record, usually you ask how long it usually takes.
Yeah.
Our last song, Call My Name, it took 2 days in the studio, which was just like a couple hour sessions, so not too long. But we used to come in with like ad libs and harmonies and things we want to put on it, and then the final mix, they mix it and then they send it to us, and then we just go back and forth adding our notes and whatnot. But yeah, everything that we are putting out right now has been written for us and produced for us. But going on in the future, like we want to be self-sustained artists, obviously always working with people who are the greats, you know. But being able to be those artists that can write our own music, can produce our own music, and working with the best at the same time.
We like to be very involved with our music. So like if it's not a certain way, or like if we don't like it, like,
we'll let you know.
We'll let you know. Like, we're not just gonna put out something that we don't like.
So, and we're lucky right now because we do have such a small team, and we really feel like our voice matters. And I sometimes have to pinch myself because like when we get these mixes from Jason, it's so good, and I can't believe that like I'm critiquing it. I'm being like, oh, that's I don't like that hi-hat. I don't like that bass, you know? And like those notes are being taken into account. So it's like crazy that like we're 17, 19, 20, like, and they're listening to us. So it's remarkable to like, just a few years ago, we were all kids in a dance studio, and now we're in the room with these incredible music people, and we have a voice, you know?
Because not saying within dance, not saying this is a bad thing, because obviously you're the student, there's a choreographer. When they get to, if you want to do a move a certain way, you can't do it because it's the way the choreographer wants it to be. But with this, we can sing it however we want. They'll give us input and all that, but we can sing it how we want to sing it. It's our song at this point. We're now our voices are the choreographers of the song.
Yeah.
And so it's very interesting how much input they, like Sean said, we're very young, and these people have been in the game for a really long time, and we're really blessed to work with these people who have worked with such superstars. And so it's a big honor to be able to give them notes. And like Sean said, it feels weird giving them notes because we got sent to today, and there's some parts on it that we're like, oh, maybe we should change this, but then I feel bad because I love the guys who mix it and all that. I'm like, oh, shoot, and then I'm like, but wait, I want it to be perfect. So we have a lot of involvement in it. So
Yeah, we're blessed that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Is there ever like is that process of like sending back notes ever tricky between the five of you? Is there ever disagreements? Is there ever like does anybody ever get really passionate about a note and then everyone else is like, no, we don't agree?
I don't think it's a note per se. We get sent a lot of demos, and some like certain songs more than other songs.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Like, let's say there was a
So
song.
how do you decide at that point?
We do a lot of tiebreakers.
Yeah,
There's 5
this
votes.
is a democracy. We all have the same amount of votes. So whoever's outvoted, that's just the way it rolls, and we live by that rule.
But if you do get outvoted, you do have a chance to come back with a better idea.
Yeah.
Like if, let's say, like there's a song, like you could, that like these three like, right? Mm-hmm. So me and James would not have any input because they already won, Yeah. So as that happens, me and James could go and we could even write a song and be like, yo, I think this one's better. And if it is better, then we all agree that it's better. We just put it out, something like that.
Usually when we get sent mixes,
he's the most critical.
I'll write the laundry list of things, and then usually I'll send it over to the boys, and then if they've got any more, then we'll put it on.
And then sometimes like with me and Sean, I think we just hear. I'm very easily pleased, so I think like with music, like if the beat just feels nice, it's the dancer in me. Like if the beat feels nice, I'm like I don't care like at all. Like it's making me feel good. But then Sean will have all these like intricate, not crazy, but intricate notes about the vocals, and I'm like, yeah, dude, you're thinking too hard about it. Like let it be. But then like so that's like little tussles now and then, but I can't get mad at him about how passionate he is. Sorry.
Like a common note we'll often go back and forth on is like a harmony, and sometimes a harmony like somebody phrases the word a little bit different or they use a different vowel, and I'll always critique that. Like the upper third harmony is saying the word wrong, like change it to a different take, or just like that stuff. That's just like it doesn't matter to anybody that's listening, but I care.
Yeah, I feel like for the most part we do like agree on these notes though.
Yeah.
I love that. What have performances been like? I saw you guys did I don't know how recent this was. I could be really out of the loop here, but I saw you guys did like a little tour of some schools and it was just like a series of live performances. How was that? Was that was new for some? That would have been new for some of you, right?
It was new for all of us, pretty much. Like us, me, Sean, and James had performed together a couple of times, but that was our first like tour, and I was there. It was all 5 of us first tour, and I loved every second of it. I thought, it was so great.
It was like 3 or 4 weeks long, and every single Monday through Friday we were performing every day. So it's a very unique tour experience.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because you are performing every day. And we performed in California, we performed in Arizona, and we performed in Nevada over 4 weeks.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And it was an incredible experience.
I think like one thing I love about performing is that it takes me back to being like doing competition, like being back on stage and competing with people. So like sometimes when we perform, I always forget that we're the artist and we're not competing.
We're not trying to get a
plaque. We're not trying to get any placement.
High goal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, like sometimes I'll go on stage and I'm like, I got to be better than all the other acts. But then I'm like, I can't think like that. I just got to be myself, you know?
Yeah.
If you're not having fun, then how can you expect everybody else to have fun?
Exactly. Like sometimes I'll be going too hard on the dance moves, and then halfway through a set, I'm like, I'm dead. I'm dying.
And then you have to sing.
Yeah, and then you have to sing. You're like, oh.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I think we all feel that sometimes. Like there was a couple weeks ago, we were in a school auditorium waiting backstage, and my brain instantly went back to competing. I was like
yeah,
I was like, I got that run where you have your hands behind your back and you're bent down low, and I was
yeah.
I'm literally here to sing a few songs.
Yeah.
I need to relax.
I love that. So we got a new single coming out.
Yes, we do.
Give me the scoop. What's the name? What's the concept? And what is it out yet?
Call My Name's out. Call My Name came
Call
out.
My Name is out. Do we have a new one coming out?
You know,
It's in the works.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We will.
We're in the thick of Call My Name right
We're in
now.
the thing. There's just a lot to give with Call My Name because we did. I think it's very special. Call My Name because it's the first one with all 5 of us on it.
Yeah.
And it's just like a big slap in your face, powerful song. And we have so many versions of it too. So it's just like it's everywhere. And maybe there's more versions to come. Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah, it's Call My Name's.
We got more stuff coming.
It's
We're in
sick.
Call My Name era.
We're gonna Call My Name era.
I love that.
Out of it anytime soon.
we're just trying to juice it.
It's not a phase.
It's gonna get better.
Not a phase. This is jumping back a little bit, but this just popped into my brain. How much do you? So you guys get a mix back or you get a demo. How much are you thinking about like choreography to this would be really dope? Because a lot of you do have that dance background. Is that something you're thinking about like right off rip?
Oh,
instantly.
yeah.
I think about it more than I think about the singing of it, actually.
Yeah. When I listen to demos, usually the boys will catch me, but I'll improv to it on the side just to get a feel for it a little bit.
Yeah.
So funny. We're listening to a mix. They're all sitting down. I'm like,
Dude, and he's got that fire improv. So
you know,
that's the test of whether it's a good demo or not.
No,
yeah.
really.
if he's grooving.
I really think
I love
it's memorable melody and then danceability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter the tempo, it's got to be danceable.
Yeah.
We gotta dance that, dude.
Yeah, it's instant. Like as soon as we hear the demo, like if it's not a song that because it's usually the beat first before you hear any words.
Mm-hmm.
But the beat isn't like if I don't feel it in my soul, because I feel like the best dancers, not saying we're the best dancers, but the best dancers, like they feel the music within them. And if I'm not feeling it instantly, I'm already like kind of tuned out. Yeah. Sometimes the lyrics and the melody can save the song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's usually from the rip I'm thinking about.
Gotta have that good
For
track.
real. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. What is it going to be like when you guys? Because you guys were a lot of you were convention kids.
Yeah.
What like? Maybe this has happened yet, but you know, the first time one of your guys' song gets used for somebody's choreography.
I hope I'm thinking about this. I always I was thinking about like teachers like teaching to our song. I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be the coolest thing. I feel like that's my version of like making it.
No,
You know?
That'll be sick.
That's your Madison Square Garden.
the convention teacher does a choreo to your song. You
That's
made
pretty
it.
awesome.
It don't matter how good the teacher is. Like,
Don't say that.
No,
No, that's fair. That's fair.
performed at Hollywood Vibes Nationals, and they didn't play our song, but it was obviously like it was really cool to be amongst dancers
Yeah.
to perform our music. And I think we were talking about it when we first heard our next single, even though we have more with Call My Name to come out. When we first heard our next song, us three were like, oh, this is such a convention song.
Yeah.
Like they would be playing that during awards, teens. They'd be teaching combos to it. Like we kind of based it off of that too. Like if we're like, if you couldn't play this at a convention, it ain't it.
It ain't it. Yeah.
It, like they said, like it's a little pinch me moment when we're very close with the Caspreys that are part of Countdown competition.
Mhm.
It's always a pleasure when they sent us the videos of them playing the song before kids are going on stage, like in between the dances. Like I always remember that moment. Like I was getting ready to go on stage for a dance, and just a fire song comes on, and it takes you out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, I had to go on stage. Wait, what song am I doing again? Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I have a question about so some of you started singing pretty early, but now knowing where you are, thinking back, and maybe this is more so like you speaking to dancers that are coming up now, would you have focused maybe not more, but would you have put more time into singing if you could go back now?
100%.
100%.
I would tell every dancer to start singing. Like anyone, I would tell anyone to start singing. Like just sing, even if it's not good, just sing, because that's how you get better. It's just sing.
I always think about
Everyone
like
just sing.
the artist Tate McRae.
Of
I
course.
I always think about it, and like I've talked to some of her friends and like convention friends, and they're always like, yeah, she just posted a singing video and then she made a whole career out of it. Like they saw like one of her first posts of like her singing next to a piano or something like that. And like now it's her career, you know?
Yeah.
Like anything can happen like that. Anything, like any crazy switch up can happen. So I would say 100% I'd go tell myself, yo,
Start singing.
start singing.
I grew up in a studio with like a lot of incredible dancers, but I was one of the few that was even like interested in singing. I feel like there was like a lot of fear behind that because you're so into one art that like trying to do something else would be so crazy. And so I would just tell dancers that unlike dancing, singing, your voice changes.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think that like like you can still be an incredible singer if you start after puberty, but dancing like just don't limit yourself, you know. That's what I gotta say, because I often find a lot of tone deaf dancers and they have so much rhythm, they have so much musicality, but they just can't hold a note. So I just for the escape that dance gave me early on and what music has now given me recently, I would just say like just open yourself to it. Just do it for enjoyment.
Train your vocal cords when you're going through puberty.
No, yes, for real.
Yes, I wish I'd done that.
Me too.
Me too.
I think it all really depends. Well, I guess not really, because I was gonna say it depends on what you want to do with your life. But obviously, as you heard, none of us were planning on being in a singing group. So I think it's good to train in all of them, like including acting. I think like because the best dancers, and I know you talk about it a lot, it's like focus and performance and emotional connection to the audience, and then a lot of that has to come with acting, how you portray it. You can be doing the most beautiful dance moves in the world, but if you're not portraying it or showing it, it's not all there. So I think you need to train in all three, no matter if you want to just be an actor, because if you want to be an actor, you might end up in a musical one day. Mm-hmm. So you need to be able to sing, you need to be able to dance. If you're a dancer, you might end up in a music video where you have to be acting like you're singing, and singing doesn't look real on camera unless you're actually singing while they're filming. So I think it just needs to be I think you just need to train in all three of them.
I agree.
100%.
I love it. What's the blueprint for you guys? What is like a group that you guys collectively kind of look at or look towards when it comes to where you guys kind of want to go?
I'm gonna get real close for this one. In sync.
Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
They were dancing a little bit.
Yeah. I always watch their videos like for inspiration. Sometimes when I like right before I go to bed, I watch like an NSYNC video, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys are insane. Like the harmonies, they're dancing. Like they're not like trained dancers, but they kill it on stage. They perform the crap out of it. So
yeah.
They're insane.
They are crazy. Yeah,
that's fair. What's the dream? Like, what would be? Paint me your picture of the performance.
Yes.
The performance?
Give it to us,
Oh
James.
gosh.
Give it to us, James.
I always say that I would love to headline Coachella with these
Okay.
boys.
What would our Coachella set look like, James?
Oh gosh. Well, definitely our.
Music.
That's a good start. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say much after that, but definitely our newer songs because
Yes.
they are fire. But
With a capital F.
definitely Call My Name. Yeah, I think it'd be also fun if we brought back the mixtape songs as well.
Yeah,
I
totally.
meant just like the physical set of it.
Oh.
That's what I meant. But
Well,
yeah,
you can take that away.
Yeah,
if you want to do
let's
that.
go down the list.
Well, here's another question. This kind of goes along with this. How excited? Maybe I would assume you're excited. How excited are you for the day when you get to start working with dancers at like a large capacity, whether it's like music videos or whether it's like a tour? Like,
yeah.
is that something you guys are looking forward to?
I don't know how much we can say, but like working with dancers it's coming.
Enough
soon.
said. Enough
It's
said.
really
Okay.
I'm really
Okay.
excited for it because we're bringing, for the most part, we choreograph everything. But
Yeah.
now, as time has moved on, our team has started to be like, okay, like let's bring in some big dogs. Even though our choreo is great, we're gonna be bringing in some really cool choreographers that I can't really say yet. But then
Okay.
we're gonna be bringing in some dancers for these videos as well, and I think we're all just really excited. Every time we go and take a class, you put us in a dance studio, and we just, something inside of us comes alive. I think it's just because it's where we're from. It
100%.
feels like home. So I think we're excited to get back into that flow and with other dancers because we all love each other, but it's like it's gonna be nice to have different energy and different people to bounce off of. And I think it's just gonna be a crazy spectacle, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get nice and clean.
Yes, nice and
Very
clean.
clean.
Love that. I love that. I love that. As we kind of like wind down here, I want to take this a little bit of a different direction because I'm curious. I did an episode recently with Ali Ducher from NYCDA, and shout out Ali, and she has just such a positive, cool perspective, much different than my perspective on things. And one thing we got into talking about was just like our effect or our sort of just kind of this idea that like there's a lot of kids that look up to people like you guys and even myself and Ali and these other convention teachers and these other dancers or artists. There's kids that resonate and they relate to you guys. Is that something you guys think about? Is it something that you guys and maybe this is more of an individual question, but how do you kind of deal with or think about that aspect of things, that there's probably, especially being an all male group and an all male dance group, you're not a dance group, but you're a group that dances. There's bound to be young male dancers out there who, even today maybe don't really know where they kind of fit in or don't know where they want to go. And you'll be somebody who they'll look to be like, that's what I want to do. I want to be them. How does that does that weigh on you guys? Do you guys think about that? Is it something that you take into consideration when it comes to just the way you guys carry yourselves?
100%.
You want to go then?
We can go down the line.
Yeah.
I feel super fortunate to have grown up with some great influences from male dancers at my studio and meeting them. And so I feel like I really want to give back to the community and be a good role model. And we really strive to be family friendly. And when you're coming to a full circle show or you're meeting us, you can trust us that we're going to be good guys. We're very clean. We just want to spread love. And so I hope that if you're up and coming guy in the dance world or the music world or the entertainment world, that this next generation we really set some good role models.
Yes, sir.
I think for me, I don't necessarily just think about the guy dancers. I think just because that's engraved in my brain, sometimes I forget there's more guy dancers out there because literally it was me, Dawson, Ollie, and the other boy, Henry, growing up at Infinity. And it was mostly just the girls. So I think about all of them. I think when we went to Hollywood Vibes Nationals, and I made sure for me personally to go up to all the top 3 contestants in each category and wish them all luck and talk to them. And then I specifically remember I talked to all the ones that lost, because to a kid, when you're in the top 3 or you're about to win National Dancer of the Year, that's your entire world.
Yeah.
That's everything. And then you lose it and you don't know, like, you question who you are. I know I did. And so I just try to remind them and try and be an example of, hey, I know this is your whole life and you think that you need this title to feel a certain way, but it doesn't define who you are as an artist. Because me, Dawson, and Ollie all lost Dancer of the Year, but look at us now. We're probably the best we've ever been in our entire lives. It didn't.
Where's he going?
It stop. It like sucks for a second, but you just got to keep going. And I think we're perfect examples of, none of us won National Dancer of the Year. So I think it's just a good example of, hey, you think you need this to feel validated as an artist, but you don't. So I think we're great examples in that way.
100% all the time. I'm thinking about the impact that we as a band have on people. Right now we don't have the biggest fan base, but we have a fan base and we have an impact. And for me, when I joined this band, one of the biggest things that was on my mind is the chance that we could have to impact maybe millions one day. And for me, billions. And it's like
Trillions.
For us, it's like we want to always make sure that no matter where we are in our career or wherever we are, we maintain who we are as people and our values of being good people. Because when you have an artist who's not just a fantastic artist, but a good person, then they're that much more empowering and inspiring. And that's what I want to be for people one day. And these guys too, I know they do.
I would say, I don't know if it's just because I'm still pretty young, but I like never really think about the impact I make on other people. I always am thinking about like who I look up to, you know. I'm always looking for like someone to look up to all the time in the industry and maybe just in my normal life. But I would say that I do need to focus on like my self-image and what I put out into the world, and that shows me basically.
No, I think we are so truly blessed. Oh, are we still on?
Are we on?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sometimes the camera does this. It'll
There we go. We're
take
good.
us out of it. We think.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I can still see you guys.
Yeah, we can see you now too.
Okay,
No,
bet.
I think we are so truly blessed to have a platform to be able to inspire all these young children and whoever looks up to us. I think the best advice I could give is, if you're passionate about something, like, chase it. Because I don't know if I would have been here if it wasn't for these guys believing in me. So I'm very fortunate of that. But yeah, just chase your dreams.
Chase your dreams.
Yeah.
Chase them. I love it. I love it. Give us a rundown. I mean, where can people find you guys? Where can they tune in and listen to the music? And where can they find out what's going on next?
We're on all streaming services at Full Circle Boys and all social media at Full Circle Boys. Check out Call My Name. It's out now. Music video's out now. And maybe by the time this is out, there might be something else out.
I love it. Thank y'all so much. I really, really appreciate your guys' time. It's so, I mean, I know Jagger. I've known Jagger the longest. I know Ali from just Utah, and Dawson, I've seen you around as well. And I just think it's rad. I think it's rad to see you guys doing something like this. And again, like setting an example, because a lot of kids, I mean, even kids that I work with, they don't know what they want to do or even what's possible. And so I think it's cool for them to see, dancers like yourselves that kind of are, maybe not paving an entirely new path, but doing something that a lot of dancers wouldn't really think about doing and making it happen. And I think that's super dope. So I appreciate you guys and I appreciate your time.
We appreciate you. And a shout out to your content as well. Your content is great. Talking to dancers about passion and where everything comes from and how it's not like it's not about how crazy your turns are if you're not feeling it. So I think your content as well is very impactful for the youth and the future of dance. So shout out to you, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We will we'll see the new stuff when it comes.
When it
Yes,
comes, guys.
sir.